Imagine being hungry, really hungry, but you can't actually say what you want to eat. Not a single word, not a single sound to tell someone you're starving. I want this. You try to guess. You offer something, maybe something they usually like, only for them to push it away. Again and again, same results. And then you feel that tight knot in your chest. You offer something again and feel maybe this time this is what they want. But you think, how would I really know? But maybe. And maybe this time they take it. Maybe they settled because it was the easier option. Better than saying no to everything, right? And then you get the realization that maybe the meal I prepared, maybe the meal they accepted, isn't really what they wanted. And this is my life, every day, raising my non-verbal autistic son. And I can promise you, the struggles are far more complex than you realize. Non-verbal autism isn't just about not talking. It's about not being able to tell the world what hurts, what feels good, or even what you want to eat. Imagine every sound, smell, texture hits you like a wave. Some are sharp, some are unbearable, and some you can't even describe. Even the simplest of moments, the ones that most of us take for granted, becomes a mountain. Food becomes a puzzle, clothes become torture, social interaction nearly impossible. And as a parent, you feel constantly trapped in this guessing game. You might offer something only for it to get rejected because of color, or they don't like the way it smells, or they don't like the way it looks. You begin watching them constantly, scanning for signs, interpreting certain cues, even the subtle ones, a glance, a shift in posture, a small sigh. And you realize the world that they live in is invisible to most. It's a private, complicated world, and you're trying your best as a parent to navigate, understand, and interpret their world. Desperate to translate what they're trying to say to you, what they're trying to speak to you without speaking. Mealtime is a perfect example. You try one thing, it gets rejected. Then you try another, rejected, another, rejected. Sometimes after 5 or 6 attempts, they finally take something. And relief washes over you. Finally, victory. Finally, success. But then that terrible sinking feeling comes in. You start to think, did they really want this? Did my child really want this? Or did they just accept because they knew they weren't gonna get what they want and it was better than nothing? They knew that they couldn't tell you what they wanted and they had to choose something. And often this is what they go through, having to choose second best. And believe me when I say this, when you realize this, you feel like you're failing. And no matter what, even when you think you might have reached some level of success, you realize you failed again. You're like a detective at times, sometimes a psychologist, sometimes a negotiator. And at the same time, you're trying to decode a language, a bunch of code that you don't even know how it works. But you learn. And it doesn't just stop at food. When they fall unwell, how do you even know why? A stomachache, anxiety, frustration. Sometimes you think you found the cause. You think you know, you think you're prepared. So you begin to prepare, you soothe, you try to help. And yet often you're wrong. You spend hours, days trying to figure out signs that might not even exist. All the while thinking, are they in pain? Are they sad? Are they hiding something that you as a parent will never know? And then there's the world outside of the home. School, social interaction, bullying, subtle, invisible, insidious. A whisper here, a shove there, someone taking their favorite toy. And your child can't even explain it. They can't fight back. They can't even tell their teachers what happened. And you only find out later when it's too late. Even the best teachers with the best of intentions can't always tell what's happening. And you realize that the battles that your child is often facing is with something invisible. And that breaks your heart in many ways than you can ever imagine. And your only consolation is that these experiences will shape them. Each pain, each small misunderstanding, it leaves a mark. And all you can do is be there, support them, try to protect them, love them as much as you can, even when you know you can't fix it. And these are some of the problems our kids go through. But it's not all despair, because there are victories, tiny, fleeting, sometimes invisible victories, But there are victories nonetheless. A choice made correctly, a smile, a laugh, a moment of calm. And when these moments happen, it feels enormous, life-changing. It feels like nothing else matters. Over time, without even realizing, you begin to learn their language. Not words, signs, expressions, glances, understanding their routine, understanding their likes and dislikes, gestures. You become fluent in a language no one else speaks. A language you didn't even know your brain had already processed. And in that fluency, you find connection, you find love, you find understanding. Every day is hard. Every day is filled with uncertainty, frustration, difficulties. Yet every day is filled with love. Because even though you may not fully know ever what they want, how they feel, or why they cry, you're always there. You always show up. And that matters. That presence, that unwavering care is everything. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from this, is that the struggles of a non-verbal autistic child is invisible, is profound, is misunderstood. But with patience, love, care and understanding, their world can be made brighter. And with that, your world also brightens up. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that video, hit the like button, do subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.